Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I'm Darshan Usman. The top stories this hour. Grim Easter celebration as over 150 residents slain in Plateau, Benue. Police rescue 10 kidnapped students, 2 others in Edo State. Over 3,000 couples wed in Grand Easter ceremony in South Africa. Details shortly. Now, over 2 billion Christians across the globe are celebrating the symbolic resurrection of Jesus Christ over 2,000 years ago, which signified his victory over death. Right here in Nigeria, over 100 residents were reportedly killed by terrorists in the Bokos and Basa local government areas of Plateau State. Across the border in Benue State, suspected herdsmen attacked local communities, killing many and displacing thousands of residents. To the families of the casualties, it has not been a season of love, peace, and joy. Still, many churches in Nigeria joined others across the globe to celebrate Easter. Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State said that over 60 communities have been taken over by the land-grabbing terrorists. Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State appealed to the Nigerian President Bola Tinubu to deal with rising insecurity in the state as the death toll from the recent attacks by suspected herdsmen on Ukum and Logo local government areas in the state rose to 56 on Saturday. In his Easter message, President Bola Tinubu, who has been away in Paris, France, then London on a working visit, condemned the killings in Benue and Plateau, saying that the forces of evil will not prevail over Nigeria. News Central correspondent Chizoba Nyonwe has been following developments in the Middle Belt states of Nigeria, and we will continue to provide updates. For more on the killings, our correspondent Chizoba Nyonwe joins us from Plateau. Let's bring you her findings.
It's so a sad and sorrowful moment on the Plateau because people have lost loved ones, people have lost family members, people have lost friends and relatives. So unfortunately, this is coming at this time. Not to say that there's a better time for this kind of violence, but coming towards Easter just a few days ago. But today, by midnight today, will be exactly 1 week. This dastardly act was done on the people of Babcock local government area. And less than 2 weeks, the same thing happened in Babcock local government area. So, it's such a sorrowful moment on the Plateau. Well, like I would always say, people say that once there is life, there is hope. And so, despite what has happened, people are trying to pick up from where they have stopped and then to continue pushing in life. It's such a sad moment, like I've said earlier. Behind me, you can see the road is virtually empty, apart from a few people that are coming back from church or those that are also going to church, and that is why you're not seeing me in the normal Easter outfits, just like you acknowledged earlier.
Residents of Nigeria's capital, Abuja, say the current inflation in the country, which has spiked the prices of goods and services, is currently affecting plans for the Easter celebration. Now, some of them say they're forced to make tough choices as their budget for the festivity has been affected by the high cost of foodstuff in the market. Our correspondent, Joshua Marai, brings us more on this.
As Christians across Nigeria mark Easter, the celebration is quiet in many households. Fresh data from the National Bureau of Statistics revealed that consumer inflation rose to 24.23% in March, up from 23.18% in February. This number isn't just data, it is visible on every stall and every face in the market. Rivka Tusambo had saved up to buy food for Easter, but the market met her with something else: soaring prices.
Things are not encouraging. They are very expensive. With the little amount that you have, at least for the children, since the don't understand what the economic is, but you can get it 500, 1,000 at least to keep them in the mood of celebration.
At the meat shed, the situation is worse. What was once a crowded section of the market during festivities is now almost deserted. A kilogram of beef that sold for 4,700 last year now goes for 6,500.
When we see, even if it's not sell to us, when you read tomorrow, the money is not complete. So why you say now, even if it's not good, we sell them 6,500 per kilo.
You can see now, where they are selling meat, no customers, because things are very hard. So there is too much meat in the market, but no customers.
And for perishable goods like tomatoes, sellers are counting losses daily.
You know, say the country don't change, everything costs. So before then they said this one, small price. Now everything high. So people like and better not get money. So how you combine?
Some they complain, some they are not complain. This basket like this, they say 6,000. But some people they are selling their own 5,500. But tomato is different. You understand? This is a Rica tomato. They are selling the Dache basket 4,000. One is 35.
Easter is meant to be a time of joy and sharing. But for many Nigerians, it has become a season of sacrifice. As prices rise and wallets shrink, the true cost of celebration is now measured not just in naira, but in hard choices. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imarayi.
Staying on the significance of Easter, the celebration is largely considered a cornerstone of Christianity, symbolizing victory over death and sin while offering believers the promise of eternal life. In this report, News Central correspondent Austin Azu examines the significance and moral lessons of Easter for Nigerian leaders and the citizens.
The atmosphere here looks so...
In the absence of that particular package, now many Nigerians often look forward to Easter as it is another time for holiday travels. In Lagos, terminals across the state are seeing a steady stream of passengers heading out to celebrate with family and friends or to attend to personal matters outside the city. News Central's Israel Eferoba completes the story.
Began with Ash Wednesday, the 40 days of Lent, where Christian faithful fast for 40 days and engage in various spiritual exercises. Next in the sequence is Palm Sunday, celebrating Jesus' victorious procession into Jerusalem, prior to Good Friday, where Jesus endured betrayal, arrest, trial, condemnation, torture, crucifixion, and burial in a tomb.
Easter signifies a time for the celebration of the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ.
That even when things go so bad, we have hope that we can come out from it. So celebration of Easter is to touch the lives of our people, human beings.
He died for us to have life eternal.
Bishop, Diocese of Asaba, Anglican Communion, Right Reverend Kingsley Obu, speaks on the significance of the Easter celebration.
We celebrate the fact that death could not hold him. The grave could not hold him. On the third day, he rose victoriously, conquering death, conquering hell.
As Christians gathered at various churches to commemorate the day, Christian faithful reflect on the moral lessons from Jesus Christ's resurrection that Nigeria leaders and citizens should emulate.
My own advice to the leaders is to see to the needs of the people, because things are not easy in the country and they need to be happy and share foodstuffs around the nation.
They should learn from the exemplary leadership of Christ. That's one. The exemplary leadership of the apostles, and they should think more about the people instead of themselves.
You know, so we should learn forgiveness. We should learn to put all we can to make things okay wherever we are. We should be humble. Leaders should also imbibe this character of humility and serve in humility.
After his resurrection celebrated as Easter, Christian faithful anticipate events surrounding his 40 days on earth before his ascension into heaven. In Asaba for News Central, Austin Azu.
For more on Easter celebration across the country, a cross-section of our correspondents joined us earlier from different states. Let's bring you their reports.
Transforming church, and the second service is underway. If you look at my side, you see there's an overflow outside. You look at that part of the church, you also see another set of people who are sitting outside. The church is packed full of Christian faithful who have come to spend time with God, come to worship, and come to have a nice time, part of the Easter festivities. Usually for Christians, it starts at a church service like this, where they come to hear the word of God and they are reminded of the significance of
the resurrection of Christ today. It is not just sacrifice that just hanging. It is something that will capitalize us as Christians. I am in the Celestial Church of Christ Central Cathedral church in Abuja here, where earlier I shared pictures of the celebration. It is not just a celebration, it is a spiritual, it has a spiritual significance for Christians here in the Central Capital Territory who are capitalizing on it to stand on the hope of resurrection and redemption as promised by Christ on the cross of Calvary. I have a young man we see here who is going to give us what he thinks about the season and what he feels about the season. Please come forward, sir. Tell us your name, sir. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now, what do you think this season as far as a Christian? What does it mean to you as a Christian? About the resurrection. It's not Sunday. The very significant one and me as a person, it's me knowing that Jesus found the whole by Plateau area. And as you would expect, we started talking about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. For the Christians, see that it comes with a lot of activities depicting that particular story in terms of drama presentations, choreographies from teenagers demonstrating how Christ was risen from the grave. I was asking someone sincerely that how does this translate or how does it impact the current economic situation we're facing in Nigeria? And the person was like, she woke up this morning thinking, oh, if Christ went on the cross, died, gave it all up, why can't I give it all up? That is everything that happened in the country, to give it all up to Christ to solve. While some people were happy, I was still upset that, come on, we've left everything to Christ long enough. It's time to do our part. Of course, she's of the opinion, and she has the right to our opinion, tell her the Easter Sunday that everything should be given to God, and everything relies on it. We pray, Naira lies to it, and so many other things out there.
So calm and good. A number of Christians had attended services and masses this morning. I'm standing in front of the Mater Dei Cathedral Church here in Omaya, Edo State Capital. Already 3 masses had been celebrated. People had gone home. The third mass actually is ongoing and would end anytime soon. So, but the people are happy. They are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And those that I interviewed earlier had told me that it's not just about, the ritual of celebrating Jesus, but just knowing the fact that your sins will be forgiven once you come to God in humility to say, I am sorry for what I've done. So it's for them, it's the payment for the sins, the atonement of the sins that humans have committed, and the fact that Christ has conquered death.
The atmosphere here looks so, shining, but however, a lot of persons who have spoken to actually lamented about poor city of funds, and of course, the economy, quite well said, is not smiling on them. But nevertheless, we have some respondents here to talk to us. All right, Mama, please step forward. We have Madam Tessie here. Madam Tessie, tell us the mood. How is the mood of the Easter like?
We are happy for one major reason. We are happy for one major reason, that Christ resurrected and our hope has resurrected. Because if Christ died without resurrection, the hope of Christians would have been miserable. So that's the major thing.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Many Nigerians often look forward to Easter as it is another time for holiday travels. Now in Lagos, terminals across the state are seeing a steady stream of passengers heading out to celebrate with family and friends or to attend to personal matters outside the city. News Central's Israel Eferobo completes the report.
Holidays are periods where family and friends seize the opportunity to spend time together away from work, and this Easter holiday is no different. But one significant feature of travel season is increase in transport fares. So, how has it been this Easter season? At the train station I visited, it was good news for travelers. Despite the festive period, transportation fares remained stable, a much-needed financial relief for many commuters.
So with respect to increment in the price for the travelers, I don't think it has actually increased exponentially. It hasn't increased.
The fare is okay. It has not changed since they started. Standard is still standard. Business and first class are still business and first class. For this Easter, I think it's still normal transportation. No free thing was done, so we didn't have crowd. Everybody paid to get into the train compared to when we have the December festivity and there's so much crowd then and you don't enjoy it. But for this period, everything is okay and we're enjoying the service.
But at the Jibowu bus park, it's a slightly different story. Fares have increased modestly, with drivers citing no particular reason for the increase.
Not too much. What we were collecting before was 31,000. We just add only 2,000 because the rushing is not much like that. So we just add only 2,000. Majority of the people now, they are not traveling for the festive period. They are traveling for maybe to attend wedding or wedding and burial. So normally, maybe from Monday now, they will start traveling. You will start to see rushing from Monday.
The transport fare have increased a little bit.
Why?
I would say it's because of the Easter Eve, yeah.
Some passengers shared the mood they're in this period.
I'm excited about traveling today.
Oh, yes, I've always loved traveling with my family because that's the only free time I have. I wouldn't say because this is my first time, so I don't know what the fee used to be, but the fee is just reasonable for me.
Everybody should be excited when you travel with your family, so which are around with me here. So I'm excited.
I'm excited I'm traveling today, and it's always something I look up to anyway, using the train. I have not used the road I say for like 3 years now. I've always traveled by train. I've not used any road transportation.
Now, while some passengers are on the move for celebration, others are simply seizing the break to take care of personal matters, whether for festivity or necessity. The mood at the terminals is largely cheerful, with travelers eager to reunite with loved ones or simply take a breather from the hustle of Lagos life. As Lagos gradually empties for the long weekend, this Easter exodus brings with it the hope of reunion, rest and reflection. Whether by rail or road, it's the journey and the destination that matter most. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Eferobo.
Meanwhile, a tragic incident occurred on Saturday morning in the Ojodubeja area of Lagos, where a 3-story uncompleted building housing a ground floor restaurant collapsed, leaving about 5 dead and 15 people rescued so far. Our correspondent Oluwakemi Alimi reports from the scene.
It was a scene of chaos and concern at Oremeta Street in Ojodubeja, Lagos, as a 3-story uncompleted building with a restaurant operating on the ground floor collapsed this Saturday morning. Eyewitnesses say customers and staff were inside the restaurant when the structure gave way. Residents and passers-by immediately sprang into action, using shovels, hammers, cutlasses, bare hands to rescue those trapped under the rubble. Volunteer rescuers say they were able to rescue between 7 and 9 people before emergency response agency arrived.
I think it's around 8:05 in the morning. So we just heard the sound. So before we came outside, the whole building has been collapsed. With shizu and hammer, we rescued like almost 8 people. So when they came, we rescued like 6 to 7 more people. But unfortunately, we have like 4 people that are dead.
We've been trying so far. It happened very early in the morning, and we've been trying so far. But so far, we've rescued like 15 to 13 people, and we have 4 casualties presently. And we still have more people there that we are trying to rescue. They are trying to call us. We have 3 that is standard and are calling that they are still alive, but we still have like 7 to 10 people there.
Following the collapse, government agencies including the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Lagos State Building Control Agency, Lagos State Fire Service, the Nigerian Police, the Lagos State Ambulance Service, LASMA, and the Nigerian Red Cross all deployed heavily to the scene, coordinating the emergency response and rescue efforts. Speaking at the scene, LASEMA Permanent Secretary said they deployed both heavy and light equipment to rescue victims as layers of the building had piled up, and they had to be careful to bring out people alive, emphasizing that they were doing all they could to reach ground zero.
You can't look at any bubble person. You can't say it is 10, you can't say it is 20. And that is why we are painstaking in carrying out search and rescue. And that is why we are using both light duty equipment, we are using heavy duty equipment, and all the top echelon that are important in managing emergency are on the ground. So far, we have rescued 5 alive, and the operation is ongoing. The operation is swift, prompt, effective, and efficient, and I can assure you we are going to the ground zero.
Distraught relatives also gathered at the scene, hoping for news of loved ones trapped inside. With the recurring issue of building collapse, residents and concerned citizens are calling for stricter enforcement of building regulations to prevent future tragedies. In Lagos, for News Central, Oluwakemi Alimi.
Still on this, our correspondent Israel Eferobo has been monitoring developments on the collapsed building. Let's bring the updates he filed earlier.
Indeed, the situation has not really changed much from what we reported yesterday from the scene of this horrific building collapse here at Oremeta in Ojodu, Belgium. We understand it's a 3-story building that was just occupied. The ground floor was occupied by a restaurant, and at the time of the collapse, people were inside, and all these details is already out there in the public domain. But what we don't understand right now is that rescue operations is still ongoing, and indeed at about 3 a.m. this morning we understand that men of the rescue services were able to pull out a body from the rubble just behind me here, and that's exactly the situation right now. So many people are still just gathered here waiting to see how this whole effort will proceed. We're trying to see if they can get to ground zero and see if there are more people that are trapped under the rubble. Heavy machinery on your screen right now trying to move things away to get to ground zero of this building collapse. There are lots of figures being bandied around. I've been reliably informed here today that the figures are unconfirmed right now for those that have been rescued, for those that are still under the rubble, and indeed for those that have been taken to the hospital. We have no idea what this is, but this is exactly the situation right now. At much later, I'm quite sure they will release a press statement to tell us exactly the number of people.
The Edo State Police Command has rescued 10 students who were abducted on their way to Babcock University in Ogun State for the annual Generation of Youth for Christ Africa Conference. Now, the students were kidnapped on April 16 at a location along the Edo-Ondo state border. In a separate operation, police also rescued 2 women who were abducted after gunmen shot and fatally wounded the husband of one of the victims at Oluoke in Etsako West local government area, Edo-North senatorial district. Now confirming the rescue of the students, the police public relations officer in Edo State, CSP Moses Yamu, said operatives from the Ohosu division, the intelligence response team, tactical squads, local vigilante members, and hunters jointly combed the bush to rescue the victims and apprehended the suspects. He said preliminary investigations revealed that 2 suspects who were arrested with a locally fabricated pistol, 2 headlamps, and the motorcycle had been terrorizing commuters in the area. According to the PPRO, the suspects have confessed to the crimes and will be charged to court once investigation was concluded. We'll take a break now. When we come back, the President of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu, has restated his commitment to the safety of both lives and property of citizens, irrespective of their socio-cultural differences. Now, the President was speaking through the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, during his visit in Plateau State to commiserate with victims of the April 2 killings in Basa local government area of the state by alleged herdsmen. News Central's Chizoba Anyonwe, who was on the minister's entourage, quotes him as assuring that everything is being done to arrest fleeing masterminds of the attacks and bring them to justice, and also ensure an end to these senseless killings.
He's really committed on this, and he has directed that we must find the perpetrators of this evil and let them face justice. And the security agencies are investigating seriously, and we are on the trail, and God's willing, we'll get to the root of it, and the perpetrators will be apprehended and they will face justice. We are working as a team, the state government, the community leaders, the security agencies, and above all, the command and directive from the president that this must end. And I'm sure all the security agencies, the government and the state government and the different stakeholders are on this to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
A coalition of 35 civil society organizations in Rivers State have jointly petitioned the House of Representatives over what they termed as severe and brazen acts of lawlessness and impunity perpetrated by Rivers State's Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibot Etebas. In a strongly worded letter titled Severe and Brazen Acts of Lawlessness and Impunity being carried out by the Administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibot Etebas, and the need to nip them in the bud in the interest of mutual peace and constitutionalism, the groups called on the chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee on Rivers State Oversight to take immediate action to halt a drift towards authoritarianism in Rivers State. The document accuses Vice Admiral Ibok Etebas of undermining constitutional governance, noting that he takes advantage of federal power and security operatives to intimidate public officers, suppress democratic institutions, and interfere with democratic processes in the state. Some key civil society organizations signatory to the petition include Rivers State Civil Society Organization, Citizens Quest for Initiative, that's for Truth Initiative, MOSOP, Rivers State Chapter, Foundation of Leadership and Youth Initiative, Niger Delta Youth for Peace and Development. A group of young Nigerian women aged between 21 and 24 is making waves in the tech and education space with a groundbreaking innovation. Now, the team has developed an app called Tita, a digital timetable platform now in use in several tertiary institutions across Nigeria, Liberia, and soon the Gambia. The app is already transforming academic scheduling, and the impact is being felt across campuses. Samaya Abubakar has the story.
In a world where technology is redefining every sector,
A group of young Nigerian women is placing education at the center of innovation. Their creation, the Tita app, is a smart digital timetable platform designed to simplify scheduling for students, lecturers, and institutions alike.
From the admin panel, each institution is able to automatically generate their timetable using artificial intelligence in 3 seconds. And once that is done, it gets distributed to the Tita mobile application for students and the Lecti mobile application for lecturers. Any information you wish to pass across to your students, you're able to do that from your Lecti application, and it goes as a push notification immediately.
From a small idea to a big impact, the app has been adopted by institutions in West Africa. But the road to achieving this success has come with its own challenges.
Some people don't take us serious because they feel we are young girls. We don't necessarily know what we're doing. We are not fit to do what we're doing. Then, of course, there's the sexual exploitations where people want to take advantage of you because they feel you're girls and they can always take advantage. So
I'm really excited because we've grown a lot actually as a team. We complement each other more. We tell each other we can do a lot of things, and we see ourselves breaking barriers.
For lecturers and students, the benefits are clear: fewer missed classes, better communication, and improved planning.
Using this Tita app, there is a real-time update whereby you'll be getting update directly from your lecturer or from your class rep without non-interference or disruptions.
One of its benefits is that it helps in streamlining timetable management. You know, it gives us clarity. It reduces timetable conflicts or clashes.
Young, vibrant, and bold, these innovators are not just building apps, they are building the future of education in West Africa and beyond. In Abuja, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar. The news continues away from Nigeria and to South Africa, where over 3,000 couples were on Easter Sunday had their wedding at the International Pentecost Holiness Church in Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, the mass wedding ceremony is part of the long-standing Easter festivities and tradition for the church under the leadership of Michael Sandlana. Among those who got wedded are polygamous marriages, a tradition which has been co-opted by some churches.
Foremost, as you can see, some men are marrying more than 3 wives, more than 2 wives. Some are adding 2 wives with already the 3 that they have. They're going to have 5 wives, others 7 wives, and so forth. So the church, as it were, as an institution, it contributes towards social development and community development. So why we are celebrating this thing today within the Easter celebration weekend is to encourage and motivate people that in life and in society, who we are as society. In a marriage, children are born. In families, kings, queens, and leaders are born. In a marriage, a community is developed. So what we are celebrating here today, the message is not done just for celebratory mode, but it's done to develop the community and to develop a society as it were.
Tensions are high in Mozambique as protesters took to the streets following the assassination of opposition figure Joel Amaro. Amaro, a close ally of opposition leader Venancio Mondlane, was shot on April 13 in what many believe is part of a broader campaign of political violence. Police were deployed to the scene of demonstrations where citizens are demanding justice and accountability. According to Human Rights Watch, at least 10 key members of the opposition have been killed between October 2024 and March 2025.
O que nós sentimos a certa medida é que há uma fama de que a manifestação neste país constitui algum tipo de ameaça para aqueles que são os nossos governantes, mas não constitui verdade, principalmente porque é a partir daqui onde nós encontramos elementos de diálogo. É a partir destas manifestações e marchas que a Sua Excelência Presidente da República encontra uma ferramenta para comunicar com o povo moçambicano.
Agora começa a ficar claro quando alguns diziam que era a polícia ela mesma que vinha vandalizar as lojas para poder culpar a sociedade, para poder culpar, portanto, a juventude. É o que a gente está a ver hoje. Temos um contingente policial muito mais elevado. Estamos a ver aqui, portanto, blindados e viaturas da polícia muito bem identificadas. É um número superior ao número daqueles jovens que estão aqui, portanto, posicionados. Portanto, é mesmo uma mensagem clara que eles estão a passar, que isto é uma ditadura e não uma democracia.
In Central Africa, the mayor of the DR Congo town near where a boat caught fire earlier this week says that at least 33 people died in the disaster, significantly fewer than previously reported. Now the toll, the first official one from Tuesday's blaze, is far lower than that of at least 143 deaths previously given by a national deputy and a local civil society figure. The mayor of Mbandaka, Yiv Balo, said they counted 195 who have survived, including 22 burned victims who are being cared for at Wangata General Hospital, and 33 deaths, with 29 people already buried and four more still at the morgue. The disaster occurred near Mbandaka, capital of Equator Province, at the confluence of Ruki and the vast Congo River, the world's deepest. Over 100 inmates have escaped from a high-security prison in Chad following a violent shootout that left 3 people dead and wounded the regional governor. Now, the breakout occurred late Friday near the town of Mongo in the central Guerra province. Officials say the prisoners revolted over poor conditions, including lack of food, and during the chaos, inmates broke into an office, seized weapons, and exchanged gunfire with prison guards. The governor of Guerra, who arrived amid the unrest, was injured in the shootout. Local authorities confirmed at least 132 inmates escaped. Justice Minister Yusuf Tom says he is en route to Mongo and will provide more detailed information upon arrival. Security forces are working to track down the escapees. Still ahead. Ukraine says Russian attacks continue despite Putin's Easter truce. Details after the break. Join us again. In other news from around the world, Christian worshippers attended Easter Mass at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem's Old City. During this sermon to the faithfuls, Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, Pier Battista, expressed concern about a possible further deterioration of the political situation and the worsening humanitarian catastrophe that is unfolding, especially in Gaza. Pope Francis has appeared at the Vatican St. Peter's Square to wish Happy Easter to thousands of worshippers. The 88-year-old pontiff, recently hospitalized for double pneumonia, waved from a wheelchair and greeted the crowd. Though his Easter message was delivered by a clergy member, Pope Francis sat nearby, looking frail but present. He later toured the square, blessing babies brought to him by adoring crowds. In his address, he called for peace in Gaza, Ukraine, and around the world, condemning anti-Semitism and urging an end to global conflict. His powerful message says that there can be no peace without freedom, respect, and humanity.
Preghiamo per le comunità cristiane in Libano e in Siria, che mentre quest'ultimo paese sperimenta un passaggio delicato della sua storia, ambiscono alla stabilità e alla partecipazione alle sorti delle rispettive nazioni. Un pensiero speciale rivolgo anche al popolo dello Yemen, che sta vivendo una delle peggiori crisi umanitarie prolungate del mondo a causa della guerra. E invito tutti a trovare soluzioni attraverso un dialogo costruttivo. Cristo risorto, nostra speranza, conceda pace e conforto alle popolazioni africane, vittime di violenze e conflitti, soprattutto nella Repubblica Democratica del Congo, in Sudan e Sud Sudan, e sostenga quanti soffrono a causa delle tensioni nel Sahel, nel Corno d'Africa e nella regione dei Grandi Laghi. In questo tempo non manchi il nostro aiuto al popolo birmano, già tormentato da anni di conflitto armato, che affronta con coraggio e pazienza le conseguenze del devastante terremoto a Sanghaing, causa di morte per migliaia di persone e motivo di sofferenza per moltissimi sopravvissuti, tra cui orfani e anziani.
Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a temporary Easter truce in the Ukraine conflict set to begin on Saturday and end at midnight on Easter Sunday. Now speaking during a televised meeting with Russian Chief of General Staff Valery Gerasimov, Putin ordered a halt to a military action based on humanitarian reasons. He expressed hope that Ukraine would reciprocate, but instructed Russian forces to remain alert to any violations or provocations. Now, the ceasefire offer comes amid failed efforts by former U.S. President Donald Trump to broker peace. In the world of sports, Nigerian chess champion Tunde Onokoya has set a new Guinness World Record after completing a 64-hour chess marathon at Times Square, New York. Alongside American partner Sean Martinez, Onokoya surpassed the previous record of 61 hours, 3 minutes and 34 seconds held by Norwegian duo Odin Blikrevier and Askild Bryan. The duo continued playing with a goal of 70 hours to raise global awareness and funds for free schools for homeless children in Africa. Onokoya, founder of Chess in Slums Africa, had previously completed a 60-hour marathon in 2024. This latest feat now stands as a verified historic milestone in both sports and advocacy for inclusive education across the African continent. CAF has released the full schedule for the 2025 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations set to take place in Egypt from April 27th to May 18th. 13 teams will compete across 3 cities, Cairo, Ismailia, and Suez, in the 17th edition of the youth tournament. Hosts Egypt opened the tournament against Zambia on April 27 at the Cairo International Stadium, while Sierra Leone faced South Africa at the same day in Ismailia. Nigeria began Group B action against Tunisia on May 1st, with Senegal launching their title defense on May 2nd in Suez. The top 2 teams from each group and the 2 best third-place teams advanced to the quarterfinals. The tournament's 4 semi-finalists will qualify for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, take another look at some of our major stories. We told you that Green Easter celebrations as over 150 residents slain in Plateau, Benue. We also told you that police rescued 10 kidnapped students, 2 others in Edo State. We also told you that over 3,000 couples wedded in Grand Easter ceremony in South Africa. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 27, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.